The topic of hospice care can be a difficult conversation for families to have. Rebecca Hansen with Hospice of Salina joins me today. Rebecca, thank you so much for being on the show. Let's start out by telling the viewers a little bit about Hospice of Salina.
Well, Mike, Hospice is an interdisciplinary team of professionals who provide holistic care for terminally ill patients and their families at end of life. One of the myths that hospice comes across is it too soon to be on hospice?
Can you elaborate on that?
Well, we find that patients who get a greater benefit from hospice services the sooner they sign on. The first step would be to talk with their primary care physician. We have to have an order from the primary care physician in order to come and visit with them and do an assessment for eligibility. But if anyone has any questions generic, they can call our office at 825-1717 and we would be happy to talk with them about what we do.
You mentioned the team approach that you do. Why don't you talk about the team members?
The team is made up of our medical director, Dr. Kevin Norris, registered nurses, LPNs, home health aides, social workers, and chaplaincy.
And I understand the family is involved in care as well.
Absolutely. A lot of times the family needs more support than the patient themselves. For instance, they are often the primary caregiver of the patient, and as they provide care for their dying loved one, they're not only grieving for their loss, but also as the burden of being the caregiver.
This care, because you guys are providing the care within their home or nursing home, correct?
We do both. We provide care wherever the patient calls home. And that may be in a nursing facility, it may be in their home, or it may be in an unconventional home such as an RV. We've done that before.
I wanted to kind of talk to you about a typical case, but as you and I sat here and talked, there really isn't such a thing as a typical case, right? So why don't you give us some examples regarding that?
There is no typical case. We develop our care plan based on the patient and family needs. For example, we had a young gentleman who worked with his caregivers and family and actually planned out how he wanted his end of life to be. Some of the things that he requested was a strawberry scented candle and specific music to be played during his transition to death. And it was very satisfying for not only the family but also his caregivers to honor his wishes.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show and for a wonderful service that your organization provides. And thank you for watching. For more information, visit hospiceofsalina.org and make sure to like their Facebook page.